Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Nanya Sim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash the subscribe button and turn on the notification so you get notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the support and love you all give me here. I am truly grateful. Thank you all so much. Before we get into this video, I don't know. I am trying not to be mad, but man, I am tired of seeing people gaslight black people for no just reason, and they need break. Yes, they need break from you all, brouhaha, because it's getting out of hand. I don't know how you all wake up. All you want to do is just gaslight them, and this young man deserves to be cancelled. I don't know how a palm-colored person wants to tell a black person how to live his life, or how you want to tell black person's experience. Man, you have never been in their shoes. You don't know how they feel. You don't know their experience. The best you can do if you don't understand is to sympathize with them and move on, right? But no, this young man, all he want to do is just keep gaslighting black people, calling them ignorant, calling them thief, calling them all sorts of names, because you want to create content. Now, really, I am tired of you all. Enough is enough. Black people deserve break. Give them break. Stay glued to the screen. Let me roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it, and let me know what you all think in the comments. So straight up, let me roll the clip.
In my previous video, I stated two simple things. First, black Americans are incredibly privileged. And second, they have no right to steal from other countries. Second statement is widely discussed right now because of Black Cleopatra on Netflix, but the first statement was unexpected for a lot of people. African Americans and privilege sound like oxymoron. So I compared two simple metrics: average salary in Egypt, whose history Americans are trying to blackwash, and welfare check in USA. As you can probably guess, average welfare check in the United States is higher than average salary in Egypt. Now, instead of admitting their privilege like a normal privileged class should, a lot of creators and commenters started to respond to me with the same thing over and over. Cost of living, cost of living, cost of living.
Cost of living, cost of living, cost of living, cost of living.
Cost of living in the US right now is ridiculous.
Ridiculous, you hear? And what's even more ridiculous is that not a single one of them even tried to do research. Not a single one of them even tried to calculate the ratio between the cost of living and average income. They either didn't think of that, which is not very smart, or they didn't want to because they didn't want to know the truth, which is honestly so disappointing. So yes, cost of living in America is obviously higher than in Egypt. Just like cost of living for Jeff Bezos is higher than mine, but it doesn't mean that we're on the same level, right? There is this website called Numbeo, just like Brainier of people who don't do their research. It allows us to compare prices between different countries. Let's compare America and Egypt. Here's the prices for milk, for beer, for meat, for Big Mac and McDonald's, and I even found the prices for the latest iPhone. But whoa, wait a second. Egyptian iPhone is actually higher in price than American? There are import fees? Who would have thunk? Unimaginable. So let's not imagine that. Let's pretend that didn't happen. And instead, let's calculate the cost of living for a lonely person who spends very little money. Numbeo allows us to do that too. It's $259 for Egyptian and $1,007 for American. That's a huge difference, but it seems fair. I didn't trick you anyone, right? I didn't trick you. Go and check it yourself. You should have done it before actually, but do it now. And now to the tricky part, average salary. For some reason, people got very offended because I mentioned welfare checks. I really don't understand why. The point was, obviously, that poorest American is still richer than average Egyptian. But okay, you don't like welfare checks, let's compare average salaries like you wanted. Numbeo allows us to do that too. Here is America, 4th place and $4,000. And there is Egypt, second from the end with... Wait a second, $146? That can't be right? It doesn't even cover the moderate cost of living we calculated. There is probably some mistake, so let's try another source, shall we? World data, seems legit. America, $5,911. Egypt, $279? There really must be some mistake, guys. Let's try it old-fashioned way. Average salary in Egypt. Finally, $586. That's the biggest number I could find, guys, really. And we also will take the smallest American salary I could find, just so you know that I am pushing your narrative. I'm pushing it really, really hard. I am on your side. Okay, so now that we know average salary, let's take away the cost of living we calculated. What's left? In the end of the month, average Egyptian will have $327, while American will be left with $3,224. So, in the end of the month, average American could afford 2 latest iPhones, one for him and one for his mother, while average Egyptian can afford the handful of sand, or to sell himself to slavery, depending on what source we choose. This iPhone is the best symbol, the best illustration of your privilege. Privilege you for some reason choose to ignore even when it slaps you in your face. I mean, in the form of my videos. But please, I beg you, just for a second, stop seeing me as an enemy and try to see me as the source of information. Just try to imagine that that's how people in Africa live. That's how people in Asia live. That's how people live all over the world, actually. Why is it so hard for you to be grateful for what you have? Would it kill you to just accept your privilege and thank God for that every day? No, really, white Americans did that. Why black Americans can't? Oh, because you're the poorest in your country? That's like being Elon Musk's kid with the least presents on Christmas. You can cry about it to your mommy, but not to the outside world. You have one of the greatest economies in the world. You're fluent in the most popular language in the world. You in the epicenter of the world's culture. Why is it not enough? Why do you have to steal from other people? Why do you have to appropriate their culture, blackwash their history? Oh, and look how you react on me, by the way. Delete this video, delete your account, delete your whole life. Let's cancel this gentleman immediately. Black people, you know what to do. Let's just report him, he'll get banned. These comments stink of privilege. You know full well you're in the position of power, and that's why you're so confident in your force to shut down anyone calling you out. This is exactly what privileged class would do. So first, you have to acknowledge your privilege. Second, you have to stop stealing from other countries. And third, you really need to learn how to count. But if the system failed you and you don't know how to count, you can always count on me. You're welcome. This one has to be a joke. There is no way no one taught this adult young man basics of how different countries work. Spend a month living in a black community. Woman, I lived in Africa. Maputo, Mozambique, 2013. Doesn't get any blacker than that. I dated a girl from favela, lawyer by education, fluent in 2 languages, living in a literal shack, chickens running all around. I had this friend named Aristides. He taught me Portuguese for money, also taught African languages, tried to set up his own business, worked as a taxi driver, and also helped his parents in their shop. I probably forgot a few jobs of his. He found me a year later on LinkedIn. You know what he asked first? If I have any work for him. That's how the real black people hustle, not this crap you heard in the rap songs. I met this guy named Zé, short for Jose. He worked in a port, but he took a whole day off to help me with my visa run to Swaziland. Drove me in his car across 2 countries, greased racist bureaucrats on the customs, helped me with everything, invited me to his house afterwards. He has a beautiful wife and kids. Worked his ass off to provide for them. Years later, I hired a Nigerian freelancer for my company. Week passed, he shared his job with 2 of his friends. Then 5. Well, I asked my superiors for more money for them. And you know why? Because they were the hardest working people I have ever seen. And they always wanted more job. Always asking for more opportunities. People are desperate there. They are hungry there. Girl, I lived in black community, in an actual black community in Africa. You are living in a super privileged, dominantly white country, one of the richest countries in the world. You don't have black experience. They do. What you have is called poor American experience, which is still higher than an average African experience. Be grateful for what you have in your life, because trust me, most of the world can only dream about it. Thank you.
You see this man is so ignorant. I mean, he just wants to feel black. I mean, he wants to just be in black space. He wants you all to know that I mean, man, you are not black. How are you acting like you know how black people feel? I hate it when, yes, it's a strong word, but I hate seeing people coming and acting like they know how black people feel. Bro, you don't know how black people feel. You are not in their shoes. You can never be. You cannot understand. Can you just stop? Stop for crying out loud. I am so mad because this guy is just so good at gaslighting, because I really do not get this. How? Calling black people privileged? and thief, because that is what it is. Man, give them break. Give black people a break. Just give them break, for crying out loud. Can they just sleep and wake up in peace without any yada 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 from you all? I am really tired of you guys, for crying out loud. I am tired. Get a life. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.